Hello and welcome to you, our viewer. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is the Vile Iko Podcast by Rosebud Media KE. My name is Joanne Warogo, and today we have a very special episode lined up for you. Tutakuwa tunaongelelea kitu tricky sana, kitu ina affect my youth wengi. And we are actually privileged to have a very esteemed guest today. Amesema lazima akuje, create awareness on this particular topic. But before niende any further, let me give her a chance to introduce herself.
My name is Catherine Wangare, or Kate, or Mama Azaria, as some of you might know me. I'm so grateful to be here to create awareness to some of you. Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. Thank you for coming. We are really honestly privileged to have you today. We will be talking about mental health. Najua ni kitu in affect most of us, especially the youth out there. And I love that this particular topic is being sensitized on, or rather it's being talked about. That people can actually come forward and say, I am being affected by this particular thing, yeah? So today specifically, we are going to be talking about depression. I think my first question to you, Kate, acha tuanze na kumjua kwanza. What do you do for a living? Who is Kate and what does she do for a living?
I'd like to first say I am a mother, as I mentioned earlier. Being a mother is also a job, right?
Right.
So I am a mom of one. I'm also an entrepreneur. I sell cars and car accessories. I also do branding on the side, just in case. Yeah, that's me. That's what I do. I think basically that's just me. I'm an entrepreneur in short.
Okay. Sawa. Tuingie to dive right into it. There's a video you actually posted some time ago, and I think that's what attracted us to want to know more. You were talking about seasonal depression.
Yes.
I think it would be really nice for you to explain to people out there, because there might be someone going through the same but hawajui. What exactly is depression and what does it feel like?
I feel like we all, at some point, we all know what depression is, because a lot of us are facing or are going through mental challenges. And depression, as I might have it, is a loss of interest or sadness. At some point in life, you feel like you don't even know what's going on with you. So seasonal depression, as I was going through it, I came to learn that seasonal depression is there. It's something that is there. And seasonal depression is about, or basically it comes in seasons. Like there's a time, like in a month, you're just fine. In weeks, you're okay. And then in the next week, you don't even know what's going on with you. You have mixed feelings. You feel suicidal. You feel like giving up and all that. So that is what I was talking about, seasonal depression. For me, that's what I went through. I'd also like to emphasize on, like, there's so many types of depression. It's not only one. There are people who have bipolar disorders. There are people who have mental instabilities. Like, there's so many forms of depression. And a lot of times, seasonal depression is not talked about because it's not something that you think. There's so many people who will go through something and just think, oh, that's just a day. Yeah, that's just a day. Like I had a bad day. But you're forgetting that it comes. There's a time like you'll just be comfortable in your house and you don't know you're going through depression, but that's seasonal depression. So I
actually do agree. I think in the past, if someone was going through something, our parents actually, maybe you're sad for a few days. There's a time I remember my father telling me, hizi vitu zinakujanga na zinaenda, zitapita. There might be someone out there who has been told before that hizi vitu zinakujanga na zinaenda and you're going through seasonal depression. So it's good for you to be aware and to know how to deal with it. Tell us, is it something that you are clinically diagnosed, or is it something you read on? How exactly did you get that information so that people out there can also go seek information from those sources?
Okay. Personally, I'd say it's clinically. Because at some point when I was going through it, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know why some days I'm happy, some days I'm not. So I had to look for counseling, or rather I had to look for a therapist to tell me that, yeah, this is what you're going through, you get it. So for me, I've tried as much as possible to battle it on my own, but at the same time, I also need to talk to people. And most of the time you will find, if I go talk to a friend, atakwambia hivyo venye umeniambia, ni life, or you know, hata sisi we're going through hardships, you get it. So for me, I've gone to the doctor. I've seen a therapist most of the time. Okay, not all the time, but most of the times when I feel like I'm really burdened, I'll see a therapist. So yeah, so it's advisably, I'd advise people that go see a therapist. At some point, just go see someone, because it's not easy to even share with friends, because most of the time they'll just brush you off. Even your parents will just tell you, wewe hata ujui zile vitu zenye sisi tulipitia, wewe unasema umepitia. And I saw somewhere that right now, parents are praying for us to wake up when we ourselves are praying for us to die. I don't know if you get it. Like our parents are, like wanatuombea sisi, let our kids see tomorrow, but they don't know the battles that we are fighting inside, not to see tomorrow. You get it? So I think see a therapist, seek help, as I did.
Do you think, okay, how do you feel about the whole experience ya kuwa na therapist? Because the notion out here is, if my friend, my closest friend will judge me, if my own mother, my own father will judge me, what about some random person that I don't know? Even if they are professionally there, what about them? Atakosaje kuni judge? What was your experience like with a therapist?
It was really nice. I wouldn't lie. I'd also like to put men in this. Sijui kama ushaisikia a lot of men saying that they'd rather go speak to a bartender, someone who doesn't know them, than going to share some random person, than going to share with that close circle that you have. So for me, going to a therapist has really helped, because this person doesn't know me. He's not gonna judge me. He's gonna see, this is something that you're going through, this is life, but the way he's gonna advise you, the way you're gonna live there is not the same, because you're gonna pour your heart out than you would have poured to your friends, because you don't want to be judged. You get it?
Yeah.
So.
Na financially,
it's not that expensive. It's not that expensive. There are counselors who are free, by the way. If maybe kuna mtu ajui, but there's so many counselors who are free. There's so many people who will see whatever you're going through. Like at home, but there's a guy who was going through a lot of things, and we didn't know as the neighbors. So at one point when he was beating the girlfriend, we went and asked the questions, and he told us that he's going through something. He has been battling something since he was a kid. So we had to look for a counselor who will not ask for money or anything, just for him to pour out his heart. So there's so many counselors who are free. You don't have to go the extra mile of giving out money or something. You can talk. You can actually find help through the internet nowadays. Just look for a counselor who's not as expensive. You know, for your mental health, I think just dig in. Dig in your pockets and just invest in that. Because it helps. Yeah,
I agree. The same way you go pay to be diagnosed, for example, with malaria, amoeba, mental health is just as important. You know, hata kama itabidi uende kwa mfuko, and ulipe your pesa, right? But like you've been told, there are actually free counselors out there. You just need to look for them. I think actually in Kenyatta National Hospital, there should be free counselors offered, or rather that are there to serve you. So kindly, if you're going through something, tafuta counselor. Si lazima ulipe, si lazima you suffer kimfuko. Tell me something, kids. The video that I watched, and I think we will link it somewhere for the viewer to watch, you are going through something. Tuambie give us a live experience. What seasonal depression looks like, so that the viewer can actually understand. There's sometimes I cannot get out of bed, but I don't know what is actually happening with me. Nini ilikuwa inaendelea at that particular point when you decided to take that video?
When I decided to take that video, it was around Christmas. My son is a Christmas baby, 25th.
Oh, okay.
So most of the Christmases I don't even spend with him. Normally he's at the grandparents.
Okay.
So most of the times I'm alone in the house. You get it?
Yeah.
So when you're alone in the house, you start to like overthink. You're thinking of the next year. Being a single parent, of course I have to think ahead. I have to think of the next year. I have to think of what this kid is gonna eat, what he's gonna, like how his school fees is gonna be and all that. So in that period of time, I was going through it because I wasn't at a point where I wanted to be in life. I don't know if you get it. Like mambo ilikuja ikakuwa ngumu. So kukakuwa kuna a lot of things, and then the money ikakuwa ni kama it's not flowing the way it used to flow. You get it?
Yes.
So at that point, I was going through it, like kapsa, and I ended up going on Instagram, sorry to say, and writing that I feel like I'm suicidal at some point. I don't know what triggered that at that point, but I just wrote it.
Were you actually feeling suicidal?
Yeah, I was feeling suicidal. I remember when I wrote that, my best friend called me immediately and she came to where I was, because it's not easy. It's you taking your phone and writing that.
Yeah.
It's like, am I just pouring out your heart to people that you don't know even?
Takes a lot.
Takes a lot.
Yeah.
So I was at that moment, like I was feeling suicidal. And I think that's why I termed it as seasonal depression. Because I was okay. The previous days, I was really okay. We went out, we had fun on Christmas, all that. We were celebrating my baby's birthday and all that. And then coming back home, sitting alone, you're just like, okay, what's going on with me? You just don't feel it. You just don't feel the energy that you were feeling before. You get it? So yeah, so at that point, that's why I made that video. I made that video after I had cried a lot. Because I was told at some point that you have to cry. Just cry and let that pain like go. You know?
Yeah.
Like whatever you're feeling, you don't have to explain it to anyone. Just cry. I'ma just talk to someone until you feel you're okay. You get it? So after me crying and all that, I made that video. I made that video just to tell people that sometimes it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes if I now understand why some people will take their phones and record themselves crying.
Yeah.
Because I used to think, oh, so why are you taking your phone like
and put it somewhere and actually cry,
and then
for
you
people
actually
to
cry
see you
for
crying.
people to see. But that day when I took my phone and I actually talked to whoever was talking to the other side, I didn't even know, and I think I mentioned at some point that I'm talking to someone that I'm talking to people that I don't know. You get it? It felt so good that I finally like let go of something, even if I didn't get the response that I wanted to get at that moment. I didn't get someone who was seated next to me and telling me that it's gonna be okay. And I felt relieved at some point making it. I actually felt very relieved, and that's why I got the courage to even post it. And the response was actually very good. I didn't even expect it. And a lot of people told me that, yeah, sometimes talking to your phone might seem crazy, but it's a thing that has helped a lot of youth, a lot of people. So
you said it feels like you're talking to somebody else. Sometimes
don't see as if ukichukua simu yako ukiongelesha ama you're just in the house talking to yourself, you feel stupid ama you feel like you're literally going crazy. You're not. You're healing at some point. That's how I got like my therapy on that day.
Yeah. You mentioned that it got to a point you felt suicidal, or rather had suicidal thoughts. By suicidal, you mean like actually, like nile una wish unaweza jiua ama you wish something would happen to you?
Yeah, I was wishing like something would happen to me. Like I was even questioning at some point. Let me just say this, I'm a Christian, like I'm a Jesus girl, like completely. So at this point I was just like, why would you bring me in this world to struggle? You know, why are you doing this to me? Like I read my Bible, I pray every day, I try as much as possible to be nice to people, to be a Christian, but you're failing me on your end. I don't feel like you're holding me as I'm holding you.
Yeah.
And at some point I even prayed about it. In as much as I was making that video, I even prayed about it. I told God, it's time you show me that I'm your daughter, as in kapsa, you get it? And I got a revelation that day that God holds you and you're the one who chooses to let go.
Yeah.
Because when he tells you to give me your burdens and let go, sometimes we give him, he literally means that, but sometimes we give him the burdens and then unakaa hivi unaanza kukumbuka na sijana nilikuwa depressed. Kwa nini leo niko sawa? Like there's that one negative thought that will just immediately come. You get it? And destroy everything. Yeah, so that's it.
Okay, I'm really sorry that you went through that.
Okay.
I'm also very grateful that you actually felt that this space was safe enough for you to come, talk about it. Have you, over time, have you identified some of the triggers, those things that get you to such spaces, vitu zenye zinafanya ukwe na that seasonal depression? Is there something that happens and you feel like it actually leads you there?
Being a single parent, that's a lot of work. Being a single parent is a lot of work. And then I think also men, personally for me, because now I'm a single parent, I think even men, because when you're a single parent, of course, at some point you need a man in your life. You get it?
Yeah.
So when maybe someone comes into your life and then leaves in the wrong way, you feel like, why did I even have to bring this person even close to my son, ama this person into my life? You get it? To just come for a minute and disrupt my whole being, ama my whole peace of mind and all that.
Yeah, considering the habitual being.
Yeah, so I think for me, being a single parent, because that is really hard. It's not as easy as people term it. Whether you're a single dad or a single mom, I wouldn't want to call myself a single mother, by the way, because I'd want to say I'm a single parent, because my baby has both parents that love him. In as much as the daddy doesn't come through, he comes through, there's so many parents out there who will term themselves like that. But I wouldn't want to call myself that. I call myself a single parent because I'm the one who's single. You get it?
Oh, right, okay.
Yes, I'm the one who's single.
So both parents are there.
Yeah.
But
mimi ndo niko single. So most of the time unapata hiyo pia kwa single parents itakuletea at some point itakuletea depression. At some point you will feel tired because responsibilities zote ziko kwako.
Right.
You have to feed this kid, you have to make sure he's okay, his mental health is okay. You're raising him in the right way, because nowadays, I think I heard from an episode you guys made that we're bringing up kids in a toxic environment.
Yeah.
So imagine if I'm depressed, if I've not healed, how am I going to raise my son? You get it?
Yes.
So most of the time, when I'm going through something, I'll call my cousin and I'll call someone from home and just tell them, you know what, come pick up my son, because I can't stay with him. And that I don't want to shout, I don't want to look at him the wrong way. I don't want to hit him because I'm mad. You get it?
Yeah.
So being a single parent is hard. Also men.
Yeah, men. Men.
Hey, men. Also women. Some of us are toxic, by the way.
Yeah.
Because they're single dads as well. So when you come into someone's life, especially someone who has a kid, please be careful. Because this person is going through a lot already. So you coming to
whatever energy you're bringing.
Whatever energy you're bringing, just be careful.
Yeah.
Come with the right intentions, in short.
So now that you've identified that actually being a single parent sometimes triggers this seasonal depression, or when a man comes around, or when someone brings whatever, bad vibes they're bringing from wherever, it actually causes you to get into this negative space. How do you manage that?
To deal with it.
Yeah, how do you deal with it?
When someone brings a negative energy, I choose to shut down completely. In terms of, I'll choose to ignore you. I'll choose to basically literally ignore you. I'll choose to say, you know what, you're not going to disrupt my peace. God has given me a lot of peace right now. And normally what I do is pray. When I feel like my peace is being disrupted, when I feel like I've woken up and I'm waking up on the wrong side of the bed, I'll pray. I'll shut the devil up. Because most of the time, atakuletea watu wenye wanakuja just for the sake of coming. They're just coming. To destroy just your peace.
Destroy your peace
get
and
it.
your joy and everything good.
So most of the time I'll pray, or I'll just shut down in terms of, I don't want to think that at some point we had a relationship, at some point there was something going on with me. So that's how I deal with it. Yeah, that's how I deal with it.
Okay. I can only pray that anyone that comes into you, or rather hope that anyone that comes into your life comes with the right intentions, because I feel like sometimes tuko sawa alafu mtu tu anakuja tu from nowhere yeye ndo anakuja kuniletea shida. And you see, it's a very hard thing to deal with because I was in an okay space. Now you're leading me into some place that I really do not want to be, na mpaka itafanya ni dig into my pocket. For example, if I have to pay for therapy or to see a counselor, it's jamani, let's be better people. Yeah, that's all we can ask for. Is there something? Is there a hidden, what do we call it? Hidden gem. Some information that you would want to share with the youth out there? Because people are going through it. I know of people who have anxiety. Design wezi atatoka kwa nyumba. You know, there's someone out there who thinks of just interacting with people and they think, apana, there's no way. I saw a video of a celebrity, let's call her a celebrity, She was saying that she went through such a hard time in her divorce that after everything happened, she has 2 kids actually. After everything happens, hakuwa anaweza hata kwenda kwa soko. You can't go do shopping for your children, and you see everyone has to survive, and it is you that they look up to. Is there something, is there some information, is there a hidden gem, you know, something that you would want to tell the viewer to encourage them?
Most of the times when I'm using social media, I tend to talk to women or ladies or young girls even. For me, what I've learned in raising a kid, please do it. Please make it your choice. Don't let anyone tell you nizalie alafu kishamzalia what happens next. You know, you have to learn from us who have already are here rather. Like, make it a choice. Let it be you. That is you wanting a baby. Whether you want a baby at 30, whether you want a baby, let it be you. Let no man come and tell you, Ati, oh, nizalie SG, I'll give you everything.
It's your choice to actually have this child.
What equates your choice. Also, hey, babies are children are a lot. Because, like I said earlier, you have to heal. I've not healed like 100%. I don't feel like I'm there yet. But I want to be there because of my son. Because I don't want to raise my son in an environment which is toxic. You get it?
Yes.
I don't want to bring up my son, or I don't want to bring up my son and then later on he's going to look in social media and see at one point my mother was feeling like she wants to kill herself or something. You know, the internet, it never forgets. So heal fast. Raise your kids in the right environment as well. Let me talk about parents. Raise your kids in the right environment. When you're feeling like you're down, ama when you're feeling like you're depressed and all that, take your time. Take your baby somewhere, even to hata kwa huyo neighbor mwenye ako hapo next to you. Just mpeleke hapo for some minutes, breathe in, breathe out. Like, get help at that time. Don't go shouting at your kid. Because now, if you do that, sorry to say, but I was in a very toxic relationship. The father of my kid, that's why we ended up leaving one another. I was in a very toxic relationship. So my kid used to see what the dad used to do to me. And that's what he used to do. When he was 1, he used to choke me, literally. Atakuja anichoke, aniambie, nitakufanya venye daddy alikufanya. You see, so I want to heal fast before I bring up this boy. And that's what I'm doing now as a single parent. That's why I chose this road as a single parent. Because I saw, I want marriage. Like, who doesn't want to get married as a woman? You get it? Who doesn't want to live in a happy home? But at the same time, I don't want to live in a toxic environment. And that's why you're finding a lot of men nowadays are doing what they're doing. Because umembrace kwa environment. So anajua, like, it's okay to beat a woman. It's okay to do whatever you want to a woman. Why? Because my dad used to do it. My mom does it. My mom shouts at my dad. You get it? So so bring up your kids in a very good environment, in a very safe environment, in an environment that you yourself would wanna be in. So heal, and then all that glitters is not gold. A lot of people are misled with social media. You might see me happy, but you just don't know what I'm going through. Well, no, I post jana nilikuwa sijui wapi, but behind that there's a lot. So I think that's all I'd wanna say. I'd wanna share that. Be at peace, heal. Just heal. Don't don't go out there like negative mentality,
Yeah.
negative energy, and then pray.
Yeah.
A lot of times it has helped me a lot, a lot of times. Talk to God as if you're talking, like talk to God as if I'm talking to her, like the way I'm talking, the way I'm interacting with you. Sit down. You are alone in the house, but you're talking to God.
Yeah.
It really helps.
Cast your burdens to
Cast
him.
your burdens to Him.
Okay. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming today. We as the Vile Iko family, as Rosebud Media family, hope that it will get better. And we actually appreciate that you're telling people out here that it is okay to seek help. Yeah? So kama uko hapo nje and you're going through it, you're not the only one, yeah? Just know that there are other people going through the same thing. Mental health is just as important as anything else. Don't be afraid to seek help. Yeah. So thank you so much, kids. Thank you for your story. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for finding a safe space in us. Na kuja pia next time.
Thank you.
Atuta mind.
I'm really happy to be here as well.
I'm sure the next time you come, it will be a different story.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And if you're a young person out there going through anything mental health, depression, anxiety, or anything whatsoever that you feel you would want to share, come find a safe space in us. Tuko hapa. Tuongea about hizi vitu, to sensitize watu wajue that si wao peke yao, because we do not want to lose every other youth right now. Honestly, hapana. Lazima tujijenge sisi wenyewe. Anyway, this has been the Vile Iko Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode. We hope to see you on the next one. Make sure you've subscribed and interact with us on the comment section. Hata tujue what your experiences are. Sawa sawa. See you on the next one. Bye bye.